The crew is finally able to escape Egghead and set sail, leaving a trail of unconscious Marines and destroyed warships in their path. Luffy yells back at the island, thanking the Iron Giant for everything. I think he finally dies as Luffy's chuckling to himself. The Giants are celebrating with the crew, Bonnie's holding what's left of Kuma. Luffy is drained, of course. Sanji's standing over Vegapunk's body, asking him questions like, yo, was that broadcast like a get back moment for you? Because of the outrageous shit he was saying. He's dead, so he's literally talking to nobody, and we're off to Elbaf. But then it cuts back to 2 weeks earlier and Vegapunk talking with his satellites when Shaka discovers that somebody messed with the Mother Flame's data, suggesting somebody has tampered with it to steal the energy. Somebody carefully modified the data to make it look like nothing was wrong, so he figures it can only be one of the Vegapunks. And these three are the only ones with alibis, so that leaves Lilith and York. Since an insane amount of energy was stolen, they really gotta figure out who it was, and have to put their brains on stealth mode so their memories don't sync up with whichever Vegapunk stole the flame. But it doesn't take bro long to find out that it was York, after seeing that she's been synchronizing fake memories with them, as well as evidence of some cameras being messed with. Now again, this is crazy because these are all personified aspects of his character. Shaka's good, Lilith's evil, Edison's thinking, this guy's wisdom, Atlas is violence, and York is greed. It's just kind of crazy to me that greed betrayed him for just pure evil. I don't know. But they find that York called the world government and told them that Vegapunk was researching the Void Century. So his own greed literally about to get him killed. And then soon after this is when the island of Valusia was destroyed. Of course, with the help of the Mother Flame that was stolen from them. Then looking at the damage caused and the implications of it, the grief just hits Vegapunk like a truck, as he comes to terms with the fact that there's no way he's getting out of this alive. We must amplify our voices far and wide. If I must die, I will sell my life dearly. He apologizes to his other satellites, but they're like, don't, we're all thinking the same thing. But at the same time, what is death for a person like them? His brain is still just constantly stored up in here and split between them. It shows the whole time York was playing along like normal, they were plotting and planning, and actually used the Mother Flame to help restore Emeth. And obviously, he played a huge role in helping the crew escape. So it shows how they all make the recording. After that, they erase their memories so that no one could catch on. Would have really pulled some light Yagami shit, but they're gonna have to suffer the heartbreak of York's betrayal all over again. However, it'll still be our victory. After he wipes his brain, he still leaves himself a letter, but only says that the world government has found out about their research into the Void Century. But I have already taken the best precautions possible. You will just have to put your faith in me and die. They're all shocked reading this, but by this time, Luffy and Bonnie are already on the island, and Kizaru's pulling up with Saturn to grab them. So it just cuts to Vegapunk helping them escape, and Sanji asking if he has a death wish. He says, far from it, but I've come to believe that my death will set something important in motion. We know how everything worked out. Here the Giants are just cheering, hey, on to Elbaf. The Giants are celebrating a successful escape with the crew as they hold Luffy like a toy and raise Usopp in the air. It really seemed like all the Giants do is party. We also see that Vivi is still safe with Morgans, but he's just hype about spreading mass hysteria to the public, trying to paint a picture of the bleakest future possible. She getting his ass for just trying to spread lies. He's threatening to expose her because she's hiding from the government. Come on, we can't pass this up. Even the truth is captivating now. The whole world is sinking. I'm the top dog in the sky anyway, so this era is perfect for me. Now he's still trying to intimidate her, but she's like, come on, if the world is ending anyway, I'm not gonna grovel just to save my own neck. He's still just hype about all the headlines. Blackbeard fought Law, Kid fought Shanks, and Emperor Straw Hat ruthlessly killing Vegapunk? And of course Vivi interrupts, calling him a liar again. Back at Egghead, the Marines are trying to get their shit together, and it looks like Kizaru's just gonna let his nephew sail away. The Kainu's calling him like, yo, what the fuck's going on? He says everybody's unconscious, foaming at the mouth. I'll let them give you the details when they're awake. Kainu's like, yo, you better not be slacking off. Kizaru's like, yo, I'm curious. Have you ever had to kill your best friend? And he's got nothing to say. We see him recalling his time knowing Vegapunk that ultimately led up to him killing him. He starts cussing him out like, you think I'm slacking off? Well, if you got time to waste doubting me, come and see for yourself, you damn ingrate. And Kizaru's actually crying, yo, like this shit fucking with him. And Kainu rightfully apologizes, saying, yeah, that's my bad, bro. Now as the crew sails away with the Giants, it looks like their big party was canceled. Luffy's just really depressed that they couldn't save Vegapunk. Zoro cold as fuck, talking about it's pathetic, he's an emperor now. An old man dying shouldn't affect him this bad. That's actually crazy. But at that same moment, Lilith wakes up from getting her shit knocked out by Atlas. Again, they're on the giant ship, so they're all fitting on this one seat. Even had to use a ladder to get up there. But they all start apologizing to her for not being able to save the other Vegapunks. After hearing that Stella died, she busts out crying. She gets over it pretty quick and starts thinking about food, but the whole atmosphere is still very low because Luffy's really downcast about this shit. Like, he said he was gonna save him. Of course, it's not stopping him from eating though. She says that even though she was sad about everyone's death, it's all a matter of perspective. As to put it simply, everyone's alive. They're all shocked because they watched Stella die and Atlas blow up. Even if they're functionally dead, the shit is Gucci. The crew's confused, like, what do you mean? Are they ghosts? The point is, you kept your promise, so don't be so sad. Of course, they all hop right back into celebrating. Said, get the food and the drinks, we showing out tonight. And I don't care if you're with me or against me, I'm definitely gonna be king of the pirates. Look at Robin just, fine as shit. But back on Egghead, you know Lucci gotta make his reports. It looked like the whole island on fire, so you know Buster call complete. They report that Stussy was killed in action, but we know she got out of there. The Saturn speaking with the Marines, saying we obtained everything we set out for. We got York, Punk Records, and the power station in hand, and access to the Mother Flame. These are great results, we just had one critical hiccup, and all the Vice Admirals are apologizing for shit going sideways. Offered to chase the crew to Elbaf. He says no, forget about that. The failure to which I refer is far more dire. Allowing Vegapunk's message to play was an unexpected disaster. Not to mention that Iron Giant surfacing to help the pirates escape. It's all really ironic, as he had the choice 200 years ago to have the giant disposed of, but he kept it around thinking it could be an asset to them. It remained dormant for 200 years, but it clearly came to help out Luffy. The Vice Admiral's like, yo, you said letting Vegapunk's message get out was a failure. So does that mean there was some truth to what he's saying? But come on, man, you should have known that wasn't gonna go well. As he hits him with that eye hockey. Then we see York in the lab as a bunch of clouds start filling it up. They puffing out like Snoop Dogg and just aren't stopping. And she figures that Edison messed with the cloud factory. So she goes to shoot at the cloud factory to stop it. The second she pulls the trigger, we see Edison in the shadows laughing, saying bingo as the explosion goes off. And that's when she realizes she got played, as Edison flies off with Punk Records and Vegapunk's brain. He must have blown up the foundation connecting it, bringing him up to fly away with it. And we see over in the holy land of Mary Joie, celestial dragons are feeling the impact of the revolutionary army. Food shortages got them about to crash out. But in the room of authority, Saint Garling arrives to meet the elders, saying new orders have been bestowed upon me. They're all talking down to him like, what are you doing here? He says the Vegapunk known as York shall henceforth be under my purview, as I was just named the new defense science warrior god. He's saying he's been given Saturn's job. Talking about let's work together to better the world, my fellow elders. Emu gave him Saturn's job. He's now been promoted to Elder of Defense. And at the same time, it cuts back over to Egghead as Saturn falls to his knees choking. Everybody's scrambling around trying to help him, saying, what can we do? Is this some kind of disease? But all of them are just like helpless as he starts to wither in darkness. And Emu is somehow speaking to Saturn from Mary Joie, saying that Joy Boy was behind that escape and you allowed it to happen. Now Saturn's calling for mercy, saying, how could I know any of that was gonna happen? But Emu does not give a fuck. Like, is this an explosion of hockey or some shit? Like, yeah, it sends a bunch of the Marines flying. By the time it's done with Saturn, all that's left is a skeleton. Yeah, Emu's like that, yo, what the fuck? And that's what his dumbass, wicked ass, evil ass get. After Edison made some clouds to fly up in the sky with Punk Records, we see that Lilith was telling the truth. All the Vegapunks are alive. They're really just reflecting on York being a traitor. Their plan is just to keep all of Vegapunk's knowledge hidden until all of humanity can freely access it. But Shaka don't think that's for another 500 years. They also can't be in public because the whole world thinks they're dead. So Edison just combines all their remaining parts into one as they go to throw away all of York's stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I could probably use one of them. But then it cuts over to Ivankov's island where the revolutionaries are taking in everything Vegapunk said. But the past world being 200 meters under the ocean, the ancient weapons, the war of the Void Century, that whoever claims the One Piece will be crowned king, go with whatever devastating power they get their hands on. Shorty says that the world will sink, and Ivankov realizes that's why the government's been forcing slaves to build a bunch of giant structures, so all the pieces are falling in place. The dragon knows that a lot of people who heard Vegapunk's warning are gonna act out of self-interest, so we must hurry and achieve victory for our cause before the people of the world kill each other to secure habitable land. Okay, Dragon, I see you making plays. Now, Luffy is still just laughing and joking with the giants. He's catching up with the ones who helped them at Enies lobby, saying that when they got to Little Garden, Dory and Broggy were still fighting. But their weapons were broken, so they were just boxing. But they all knew just a fist would never be enough to beat one of them, so their crew convinced them to come back to Elbaf. They all continue drinking and sip something called absinthe, which is known for giving people hallucinations. So these niggas really are just having the time of their life. And even Bonnie's getting to have a wholesome moment with Kuma as they all ride off into the sunset.